And that'll like warm us up. It is gonna be funny.
I feel like this game has one of the most forgettable like soundtracks so far.
Yeah, definitely. That's better. Guys, speak.
Hello.
What is this Sin? Hello?
I said hello.
That was the most like deep hello that I've ever heard. Bro thinks
Hello.
he's Welt.
That's me, yeah.
Witness the stars shatter before you. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Actually, there's a third choice. What if you don't survive and don't get destroyed? What if you just like burn to death instead? Just saying, that's technically not being destroyed, that's just burning to death. It's just like different ways to die. Jokes on Inferno, I already have my snacks. Num.
Get Pikmin, bro.
There's a development book? What is this?
What does this development book say?
It explains how the visual novel was created. Apparently, they 3D modeled the entirety of the tower to make sure that like the locations would line up before writing the actual story. That he created the tower before anything else. Apparently, that's what the displayed page says. They show one of the pages. Man, the main character's nose is so pointy. What the heck? Also, Sai's nose is just a triangle. Do you see that?
Yeah. In fact, most noses here look weird.
Bro, Sai looks like the fucking Minecraft villager. Huh.
Aww.
Huh.
Hello, gamers. I return.
Gaming?
Welcome back, gamer. Good to have you here.
Also, I have to ask. Do you still find my new quote-unquote new voice odd?
No, I got used to it.
We got used to it.
What? You got used to it after one day.
Yeah, that's all.
So true.
And you take.
Yeah. Yeah, first they were, oh my god, new person, what'd you do to Inferno? Oh my god, can my friends stop sending me blue archive images?
Send me those images, I wanna see. I wanna see, send.
Fact. 90% of Genshin Impact players skip banners right before the character is found out to be defining the meta in the next couple of months.
So true. 90% of Genshin players stop spending money just before they're about to pull that 5-star. Just saying.
%90 of Genshin Impact players don't read the story.
True, 100% of them.
I watched the video as to why I didn't read the Genshin Impact story, or like why people don't read it, and it was actually fascinating.
Yeah, why was it?
I can't explain because it was 2 hours.
Oh, there you go.
It is
Maybe
a
that
lot
explains
long.
something.
Okay, I think I would play the Genshin story, you know, if they added this character. Hold on. I think I'd be interested in the Genshin lore if they added this guy. Look.
I'm gonna put that on the stream so everyone can see it on the replay. Just one moment, please.
Okay, okay, wait, it was not 2 hours. There was a different 2 hour video I watched. It was like 40 minutes. Anyway, are you playing the Suck My Nuts?
Yes, we are. Everyone, this is what Zen thought was funny. I agree. I hope the
Hold on,
viewers also
I'll be
agree with you, Zen.
I gotta charge my phone.
Oh yeah, of course. Anyone born after 2020, anyone born after 2000 can cook. All they know is charge their phones and play Sekimeiya.
Dude.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I'm listening.
I'm just trying to find my old phone. Hold on.
Why?
I need to charge it. Oh, there we go. I found it. It has like 2% battery left.
It
And
is
I
how
need
it is.
it
Anyway,
to be live.
now that we
So
understand
not
Zen's
much
humor, which is
stuff
very
when
good,
I'm going to bed.
we
and I
will
don't-
play the game.
Like, stay in silence. There we go.
Chapter 1, line arts. We're doing line art. Anyway, who wants to go first? Color text is gone? What? No, no, I'm not letting the slander go away. Go on.
Red
I
Hot.
did what I wanted
Wait,
to.
wait, Red Hollow. Red Hollow, please look at this before you go. Look at this.
I'm
meme.
here.
What am I looking at?
Let's go.
What is it?
The armor goes so hard.
I like how all the messages are like exactly 1 minute apart.
Okay,
Okay.
now I
Now-
leave.
No, you can't.
Can you imagine playing visual novels?
Who is this? I'm good.
I have no clue either. The song goes kind of hard though.
We stepped out and looked around us. A long hallway composed of calm colors extended far ahead. Is this really the same building? Oh crap, why wouldn't me I'm eating?
Is this really gonna continue? I'm also eating, by the way.
I'm also eating.
Oh my god. I
Compared
got
to what
cookies.
we'd seen, I got chips. Compared to what we'd seen downstairs, the scenery around us was more pleasant. We even felt a slight cold breeze that alleviated some of the tension we'd been accumulating.
Yeah, I'm eating chocolate chip cookies.
No
More
one cares.
bathrooms.
Since people used to work here, there might be 2 on every floor.
It's a bit too loud for me, the music. One moment.
Skill issue.
Continue skipping after a choice. Wait, this game has choices that we haven't even gotten there yet.
We really, how? What are the odds? We're not even like 10% done. What are the odds of that being true?
We really are.
A lot.
Okay, this is so sad. I don't think we're finishing this game if it's like long. It's like you said like it's like 40 hours, right, son?
Yeah,
Okay.
How
It's
many
not too bad.
hours have you played?
like 4.
Is it 7? Check how many hours we have played.
5 hours.
You were close then.
We are so fucked, by the way.
I blame Inferno for not playing in the morning.
Oh my god!
I
have
also
stuff
blame
to
Inferno for
do.
not playing in the morning.
I have stuff to do.
When will your stuff to do end?
Never.
Crazy.
Well, I have some good news, guys. Please check the time.
It's 23:55.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't start at 12 a.m.
It's okay, it's 5 minutes earlier. Wrong button? Okay.
Outside the elevator, we found ourselves in a wide corridor that only contained a few potted plants. At our right were bathrooms and a staircase that led to floor 5. I suppose we should take a look around.
And further Hellfire, please speak.
Oh my god, me.
You know nothing about the weight behind this power. Witness the stars shatter before you. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Keishi.
That paradise might be unreachable for me. Savor it in
It
my
will-
place.
The 3 girls went into their bathroom while I stepped into the men's one by myself. Like the one on the crystal floor was spacious and only contained a sink with a mirror, a garage bin,
Garage.
a garbage bin, and a toilet. It was easy to tell that I was the only person in.
You don't say.
You don't say, wow, wow, this is my first time hearing of this.
This
If the
is
main
what
character.
This is
Go
what
on.
I hate about visual novels. They have so much filler text, and they
Exactly, dude.
Yeah, you're
The
supposed to
main
make them
character
all
is
for us.
so. He's so smart. He enters a room alone by himself and immediately concludes he's the only guy in there.
I'm going to go tell the main protagonist, like, oh, please go to the living room and check if I'm there right now. And then he will the monologue will happen, like, based on my conclusion, I believe that he cannot be there as he is currently here. I believe so. Oh, yes, this makes a lot of sense. But however, what if what he said was the truth, and like there will be like a whole 20-minute elaboration? You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
This is why I hate visual novels, and by extension, not Higurashi, whatever Seven's game was called.
Whatever Seven's game was.
I forgot.
Umineko has no filler. Trust.
Oh, doubt.
It might be harder than 50 hours, but it has no filler. Trust me.
Although potentially dangerous culprit might have been hiding from us, I loosened up a little. Interesting that the thought of looking through the switch floors without restriction had released some strain from my body, which allowed me to think about needs that had disappeared from my mind, like using the bathroom for its intended purpose.
You know what it did? This stupid game. It reset all my buttons. Hold on.
Excuse me.
You excuse.
Okay, can I leave now?
Excuse these nuts.
I'm eating.
Yeah, but can I leave? When you say you're excused, usually, I think. I think that's how we say in school.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, Oh no, wait, that's dismissed.
Outside, I found the others waiting for me behind the door, and we went ahead to see if anything of importance waited us nearby. We turned left past the large hallway, and we were met with a narrower path whose left wall was made of glass. What's this?
Is this the spun glass?
These must be the
Oh
offices.
my god.
I can only see desks and computers.
Guys, I think this is the spun glass.
True, this is the glass that's been spun.
It
Who is
spins when you
who's
touch
it
it.
right now? Zen.
Yeah. Shiroya felt the handle and realized that the door wasn't locked. She easily pushed it open without making a sound
Is
and let
this
us
a door?
pass.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's a glass door, which spins when you open it. Genius video game. It's a spun glass.
Kill
Cue
yourself.
credits.
Kill
There's a-
yourself.
Hello?
I think he died.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I read the line. What do you mean?
We did not
No.
hear anything. Yeah, I think your internet went away for a second there.
There's no
No,
door.
we actually did not hear anything.
Colonel, there's another door in the back. Since this floor is as big as the first one, it must have a lot of space to encompass a bunch of these. Ayla walked to the far door and opened it.
No.
It looks the same. Otacon.
We glanced through it and saw a replica of the room. It looked identical down to the last object, with the same arrangement of with the same arrangement of desks and computers. There's another door there.
It's a fucking rat maze of office rooms.
Why is your stream like laggy?
My stream?
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
don't
laggy.
know. Hold on. I think I can fix it. One moment.
He cannot fix it.
I just fixed it. We're good.
We approached it.
My
although
bad.
No, it's still lagging.
This is so sad. Where's the log? Where is the log button, video game? Okay, that's it.
Through the door, we were able to see that once again. No, why? We approached it. Although the first wall is made of glass, the next two portions were separated by a plastic that heavily obscured the other side. Through the door, we were able to see that once again.
Hellfire.
Oh, right.
No, continue. I'm still eating.
No, I'm eating.
I'm also
I'm
eating.
I'm also eating. Hold on, let me get another chip cookie.
Through the door, we were able to see that, once again, the third section looked exactly like the first two. The exception was the lack of door leading us to a fourth. Even though the initial thought of inspecting a huge building had sounded slightly interesting, the layout made it a trivial task.
There's nothing here either.
Let's look around a bit. I doubt it, but we might find something.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
We dispersed
I'm so good.
ourselves to the... Okay, whatever. We dispersed ourselves around the three large partitions, and I was left with the third one. The desks all had drawers, but upon further inspection, they did not contain anything relevant to us. The only thing of note was that each desk contained a computer tower inside of its lower, larger compartment. I returned to the second partition. There are even cameras here.
Yeah, I saw them. They do look a little bit out of place. It's probably a result of Ashia's paranoia.
I'm not sure these would help them much, but it seems so.
Maybe it's to make sure the workers here don't slack off.
Capitalism.
Even though it had sounded like a joke, I understood she hadn't intended it as one. After all, in the second and third partitions, you couldn't be seen from the outside. The wall covered the partition sides, and a cloudy white one kept them from seeing each other. It's a pretty cramped place, and I couldn't imagine myself working calmly with that camera pointed at me. I wasn't sure what the jobs there entailed, but from looking at the number of computers, a large amount of people must have worked at once. Adding the fact that 5 smaller floors were supposed to exist, it felt almost excessive.
It is me.
I think it's you, yeah.
I stepped into the first partition to see Aaron and Idol looking at a lit screen. Upon noticing me, they were the first to speak.
I powered on this computer, but it's taking a while to boot up.
On the screen, I can see the percentage bar has almost reached again. I briefly worried that Ashia would repeat the footage of us using the computers, but it wasn't like we were doing anything illicit. Illicit? What does that mean? Like bad?
Illegal.
Bad.
Oh. Soon Shiroya came from the middle partition and the four of us started to stare at the screen.
Found anything?
No, and I don't imagine we will.
I see. I haven't either.
Cool.
Isla was mimicking what she'd seen Shiroya do, opening and closing the drawer. She appeared visibly sad when the last one still contained only pens and papers.
Fucking robot-ass character, bro. Oh, look. I doubt we'll be able to access anything. On the screen were 2 text boxes demanding a username and a password. Without them, we wouldn't be able to look at anything. Sai's gonna fucking hack it. Watch. You gonna like plug in like a funny USB?
And before
That's
Coffee,
unfortunate.
just in case, I tried inputting common default information, but nothing gave a
Like
positive result.
like what? Did he put like John Dark Souls as the username and like 1234 as the password or something?
That's exactly what he did.
That's what I do.
He probably just like put like admin and then 123 admin password admin. I don't know, Ashia for both admin and password, stuff like that. It's like fucking common router stuff. Yeah, these won't be any use. I gave up and straightened myself.
Keep going. Lower floors will probably be the same, so we'll go through them later. Or we'll go into them faster. The stairs leading to floor 5 were next to the elevator. Let's see what's on the other side first. We walked out, Isla holding the door for us. Shiraya gave her a charming smile and helped her before Erin exited through. As soon as we turned left, we were met with something I'd seen from behind the glass.
What's that for? It's the spun glass.
It's a spawn glass.
Oh right, I forgot about these.
Yeah.
The big windows were in the wall, but as we've been told, the shutter prevented us from seeing through them.
Yeah, they're the windows. These are the same kind of shutters as the one in the lobby.
Isla made the thinking sound. I also had a thought of the windows, and since they were barely visible from the first partition, the purpose must not have been to relax the workers.
Their purpose must have been to be fucking windows. That's what it meant. I remember seeing them from the
Excuse me?
outside. Yeah?
Seven, this is your character.
You
Yeah?
guys said something.
No, we didn't.
No.
Okay, whatever. Yes.
I just said excuse me and that's it.
Okay. Yes.
Excuse me?
They should be facing the front of the tower. Normally, we'd normally be able to see most of the Ishibana from here. I knew it. So, is this me again?
Seven.
Oh my
Yes.
god, it's always me. Isla approached the shutters with her head and felt them a bit. They seemed very sturdy.
I'm not sure this would be the most viable escape route for a criminal. We're on the 6th floor, so to escape through here, you definitely need special help. Yeah, they took no risk this time.
It would be tough, but even this window could serve as an exit with a proper plan.
Isla, who had been acting as if she were at home, left us behind and went to explore what looked to be another corridor. After understanding that nothing was to be done with the windows, we moved along too. A narrow path was on the other side of the floor, however, it didn't appear to lead anywhere. Is it a dead end?
Oh,
Tyler turned around and... Tyler turned around when she realized that. As nothing else was left to be inspected, we walked back and returned to the initial hallway. I guess this was floor 6. Let's see if anything's different on the others.
we came to the conclusion that it's very likely that the culprit is here, so this layout makes things easy for us.
I'm so good. That was 3 screens.
Yeah, so it's back to you.
Wait, that would be 1, 2. All right, fuck. Oh my god.
Read.
We arrived on the floor 5 in silence. It looked very similar to the 6th and had the same bathrooms at our right.
Inferno, take. Read, Inferno, read. Take a look at the voice chat.
Hold on. Look.
Read, Inferno, read.
my reaction to the information. Looking making sure nobody could sneak past us and go a floor up. At first glance, the floor appeared to have the same structure as this. I inspected one of the plants just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
The soil in these is actually really shallow. I don't think anyone could hide something in here.
The pods themselves weren't hollow either. Nobody could hide anything underneath them. I didn't think anyone had, but in case there was still something else going on, I want to have my bases covered. I couldn't actually tell if the plants were fake or not, but it didn't really.
How could you not tell a plant is fake?
I mean, it makes sense. Sometimes
makes
they
sense.
kind of are hard to tell.
Also, it's dark.
Yeah.
So like,
Good point. Okay.
I visualize the layout of the floors in my head as I consider how unlikely it was for someone to be hiding them. Seven.
After walking further into it, it was clear that it was almost identical. Is every floor exactly like this?
They probably are, but we'll have to look at them to be sure.
Why is this place so big? Okina chongmusu.
Come on, Ayla. Hirobata, Shiroya, and Atsuki. We need to keep moving.
Big chong is among us. Oh. As long as someone stays in the first partition and can look through the glass, we can make sure nobody moves between the floors unseen.
Right. One person always needs to stay out of the last two. Alright. Since we'd seen no stairs going down, I walked to the other side.
Yeah, that's what I figured. The stairs to the fourth floor are here.
Well, this is 7. This is me.
Oh,
I walked back as the others entered the first partition. Once again, the four of us found ourselves in a room full of desks and computers. I'm trying not to think about it, but what if there is someone in one of these next two rooms? What do we plan to do? We went quiet for a bit.
She's right. Wait, actually, this is like my inner thoughts, right? Do I read these?
Yeah, I don't know.
Roll d6.
We've never read these as like your characters.
Yeah.
It's always been who's reading.
Okay, go for it then.
She's right. We've been maintaining a lighthearted attitude, but things may change drastically in an instant. We don't know what we're up against, but the truth of the matter is that we're in a dangerous situation. Perhaps we should just stay put. Without side round, that sounded a lot smarter. Erna had been playing along with us, but she must have been afraid something could happen to Isla.
I doubt they want to hurt us, but without Akura, our only physical advantage is that there are 4 of us. I guess if someone is hiding, though, nothing guarantees it's only one person. Actually, that's fair enough, right?
As our perspective on the situation shifted over a single comment, I slowly moved towards the door in front of me. Even though those walls weren't transparent, they let light through. If someone were right next to them, we'd see a vague outline of them. In a slightly tense manner, I placed my hand on the handle and slowly opened the door.
I gently opened the door.
I'm so good.
I don't
7
see
to 0.
anybody. I'll check the last one. Shroya kept the door open so that my voice could still reach the first partition. I grabbed the next handle and pushed the door forward. It's empty too. I loosened my grip and walked back to the others. It seemed that nobody had been on floor 5 either.
Do we also look around here? We probably won't find anything, but I think we should.
I agree. We're not only looking for people. And in case the culprit wanted to get rid of something like they probably did with the old suitcase, they wouldn't have had many places to do so.
That's true. The crystal floor has a simple layout, but they're even worse. If you want to hide something here, you'd only have these drawers.
That's what I mean. Someone was likely here since that door at the stairs was unlocked. So let's see if we can find something.
Inferno.
Oh, this is me. Alright. Ilo took that as her cue to start opening all the drawers. Again, I went to the third partition while Shura stayed in the middle one. Opening every drawer was all like it. Oh my god. There wasn't anything under the desks that could hide something, and the floor was nothing but a mess of cable. Then where are the cables in the art? In less than 2 minutes, I could be What?
Nothing.
No, go ahead.
No.
Oh. In less than 2 minutes, I could be sure that nothing exists in that section of floor 5. I left it to find Shiroya about to be done with hers.
Nothing, I imagine?
Yeah, I looked at some of these papers, but I didn't think they have anything to tell us. Some are financial reports, but others I didn't understand at all.
That's about what I saw on the other floor. I tried to not look at them that much since the camera was right behind me.
Oh yeah, they probably looked at the footage to make sure nothing strange happened. She apologized, facing the camera. No, this is 7 actually, never mind.
She apologized, facing the camera, before opening the door to the first partition. Perhaps the situation had forced her to start moving back to her usual persona in a similar way I thought it was affecting me. I smiled at her and went through the door she'd opened, calmed by the thought my worries about her had been imagined.
Are you done? We didn't find anything. Neither did we. We can move on then. If the other group went at the same pace, we should find them on the next floor. We were about to leave when a sound alerted.
No, this should be me.
It
Uh,
was 7, then it's me, right?
yes, it's 7. It's me, 7, and then you.
No, it's 7, me, you, 7. Me, you, 7.
So yeah, I
Yes.
think it's done now.
Uh-huh.
All right.
A very faint but deep noise that lasted almost 2 seconds was vaguely heard from where we were. The two of us visibly reacted at the reminder that our situation was very uncertain, and having effortlessly deemed 2 full floors as harmless might have amplified the impact a single light noise had on us. Isla, however, appeared unfazed. Perhaps ignorance was bliss, but it seemed like she had no concerns whatsoever. You guys heard that, right?
I didn't hear anything.
I'm not sure I did. What was it?
I don't know, but I heard it too. It was quiet, but I think it came from this floor.
Shiroya and Erina looked a bit tense and focused their hearings in the case something could be heard again.
It must have been the others.
I opened the door. Oh no, it's not me. It's 7 now. This is Inferno now. Sorry.
No, this is me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's literally you, Inferno.
I opened the door. I went in the initial inspection to finally end, to permanently release the stress I've been feeling knowing that hiding culprit could have been anywhere. I realized everyone and Jiraiya were coming along. We only had 2 directions to choose, and I hadn't made out the origin of the sound. However, since the right path led to the floor 6, it was fair to assume it had come from the left. Irina quickly checked the right hallway and indicated that she hadn't seen anything. As I reached the end of the glass that Isla was looking at me through, I peeked into the next corridor.
I don't see anything.
Jiraiya looked too and saw the completely empty path.
It might have come from floor 4.
Why floor
Possibly, I
4?
can't tell.
That's the floor below us, I think.
Oh, but where aren't we on floor 6?
We're on 6, then we went down to 5. I think.
Okay. 7 is you.
We entered the first partition again, where Isla was calmly sitting on a rotating chair and staring at our distressed faces.
Do we keep going?
Yes, we need to ask the others what that sound was. All of us felt it was appropriate to exhale. However, Isla disagreed. You don't need to look so worried. Nothing bad will happen.
I would have always imagined I'd be the one saying that in a time like this.
Believe me, there is no reason to be scared. She's the real culprit. Any
Bet.
particular reason you say that? I know nothing will happen. We just need to wait until we can leave.
Saw Shiroya staring at her with skepticism. She knew optimism was great when it hadn't failed you yet. You're probably right. He only got caught up in an inconvenient situation.
Yeah, we'll be back in home in just a few hours, so let's go back down already.
Dude, she's forcing us down? She's kind of sussy.
Yeah, she's hiding the murder weapon.
True.
If we
If nothing else,
if we keep going, we're gonna find a murder weapon. That's what she's worried about. Trust.
you know, if nothing else, her playful smile made it clear that she was aware she was being unreasonable with that last part. Her high spirits were genuinely impressive.
But I'm being serious. We don't need to search for any hidden person. There is no one here. We're
Hmm.
searching precisely to know that for sure. I'm already telling you, these floors are a lot more boring than the crystal floor. We don't need to waste our time like this.
Waste our time. If I had intended to take her seriously, I couldn't have helped but laugh.
So, you know the result of a search that hasn't been finished? Yes!
This is not.
Me?
Yes, Inferno.
Shiraya and Erna's expression told me that arguing would lead us nowhere.
Sorry, my stream died. Okay.
Oh. But I was stubborn and slightly curious about her attitude.
How can you possibly know that? Because I was told.
Look at her face!
Yeah, she's got like the Fumo face.
No way, Fubo and Sekimeiya spyglass? My brain processed that line as another thoughtless remark she had made up to justify her claims. Only after a few seconds of silence did I understand what she said.
What do you mean? Who told you? My friend.
Not again. Don't take her seriously. She's been acting like this lately. What do you mean? Maybe she's a bit careless, but she's a kid. I don't think it's anything strange. I don't just mean lies. Her behavior has been changing recently. In what way?
I knew there was something up with those two.
For
Who's this? You
See,
repeat.
I told you she's gonna die.
Not Inferno. The guy after Inferno
So
7.
let me.
Yeah, this
Isla,
is you.
who was right there, responded with a face full of disagreement.
Well, I've talked to her a few about this, but I talked to her about this. I don't know why, but a few weeks ago she started talking about this friend of hers.
Again, Isla breathed in a sad manner, as if she was being ridiculed unfairly. She just doesn't want to believe me, but I know I'm right. I only tried to make you feel better. What kind of friend do you mean? Who are they? I can't tell you that, it's our secret.
See, this is what she says. Recently, she started constantly referencing this intangible friend of hers. At first, I was happy to hear her talking about a friend, since the teachers at her school usually tell me that she's more on the lonely side. She never really talked about her friends until now. But she quickly made it sound as if she was always with them and kept explaining to me things that she'd been told. I knew she made it all up because I never saw her with anyone, and the things she'd presumably been told were all things that she'd said before or things I felt she would say. Watched my favorite movie together, and it was her favorite too, and she went to the aquarium last month, just like us. You see what I mean?
Hmm.
So she's a girl too?
Yes, that's the only thing we agreed we could say.
I'd probably be taking it better if it weren't the only thing that changed, but
You guys
she
leave
also
it in a minute.
started. Man, what do you think
Man,
about Isla? She's the culprit, right?
I think she's gonna die.
True.
Like, that's what's been seen from the very beginning. She's gonna die.
I don't think any character is gonna die. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why?
I have a feeling this is not a murder case.
I think you're dumb.
We'll see. We're only 5 hours. 5 hours.
We're only 5 hours.
It's your fault. You did this.
Why
Let that
is
sink
it,
in. Let that sink in.
how is it my fault?
Just let that sink in.
Oh my god.
Women are my favorite guy.
Listen, it's not my fault I have to do important stuff in the morning.
When is it going to stop?
I'm not sure.
Crazy. You know, when it
That
stops, school is gonna start. Then it's gonna go down from playing like an hour every night to playing 30 minutes every weekend.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
welcome back. Welcome back.
Huh.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'd probably be taking it better if it were the only thing that changed, but she also started to behave differently in other ways. She frequently stopped listening to what I told her to do, spent less time with me, and one day I found out that she hadn't gone to school because she hadn't felt like it. I really don't know what's gone into her. An imaginary friend at her age isn't too strange, but it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, especially if it comes with so many more changes.
Why don't you believe me? She's real. I keep killing you. Gaslighting isn't real.
Dot dot dot. I think you should act against it, right? Let her have fun with her friend.
So she told you everything would be fine if, and that we'd make it out safely, right? Yes.
I believe you. There's nothing wrong with what you're
It's
saying.
actually the culprit. That's her friend. Got it. Thank you.
That's what
Diego.
I'm saying.
Thank you, Tanya.
She's
Tanya?
gonna die.
What,
Tanya?
Yeah,
why
because of
does she call
the
herself?
stone or something. The stone, not the necklace stone.
Oh right, the necklace.
Oh yeah, remember that. I remember that now.
So how is she handling this? Did she like the Sekimeiya? I don't know who
Who's
this
this?
is. No clue.
I'll just go. Ella looked confused, as if she'd been betrayed by the person who accepted her.
No, of course not. She's not here, right?
Oh no, I suppose not.
She told me that we would make it out safely before we came to the tower. What do you mean to say? What exactly did she tell you?
You don't
You're
listen to her.
you're getting
you
cut
see?
off.
Don't you see? This isn't something to take seriously. Tried it, but it's pointless.
She told me that something would happen in the tower, but do not worry. She said that if we stayed calm in one place, nobody would be hurt. Then she promised I'd be able to see and touch the Sekimeiya, so she was right, wasn't she?
The person she's talking with is probably like a member of Zin, right?
Probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but how did Zin know that this girl, like some weeks later, would be here?
Before answering,
Zin, dude, they're smart.
I kept trying to make sense of such a confusing bunch of words. However, I started to think that her story could be seen in a completely different way. A way much more ominous.
Yeah, well, I'm smart too, Zen.
Okay, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna play Sonic Adventure.
Bro,
Hmm.
you're not telling the truth, right? You're not telling the truth, right? You never lied up until a month ago. What happened? Do you mean telling us details about this person? How old is she, for example?
I won't tell you anything, that's what we promised. Erina, you said she's an honest kid. Do you think there's a chance she's telling the truth?
I understand you'd think that, but no, I'm sure that she's lying. She always makes it sound as if her friend lives with us, but of course I know that's not possible. We live alone.
Arla, we're talking about a human person, right? Yes, animals can talk.
True.
Right, you got me there.
She was clearly unhappy with our reactions, but we had no other way to respond to what she was saying. Obviously, no friend would appear out of nowhere and start living with you if that's what Isla claimed. Then I agree with Erina's conclusion.
So,
Uh,
what did she tell
uh,
you about today's incident? Any more details? I'll tell you that if you don't believe me. She couldn't come, or so she said, even though she didn't know how it would end, or how long we'd stay there for, she'd wait for me at home.
You didn't know how it would end? What does that mean? And why couldn't she come?
She can't see the future. She was right about a lot of stuff, so I trusted her. And today she couldn't come here because I was supposed to.
You were supposed to? What does that even mean?
I was supposed to come here, right? We planned since the Sekimeiya was announced, and I was really excited. Luke could even let me skip today's classes. If she had come, you would have seen her. That's why she couldn't.
Alright then. I apologize for putting a damper on your fun.
Don't worry about that. What matters is that nobody else is here, and we don't really need to keep it searching. Is that something your friend mentioned? Did she tell you the people who would get trapped? Maybe. I'm not really sure if I should tell you. She didn't say a lot about it. It might be helpful, so we would appreciate it. Well, she did tell me the names of everyone, but she did say that only 7 people will get trapped out if we can't calm, nothing bad would happen.
7 people? But Naomi must also be here.
She wanted to be helpful, so she told me as much as she could. She said that they me, mom, 3 boys and 2 girls, and that they wouldn't be bad people.
Come on, Isla. How do you intend to say she knew that?
She's very smart, a lot smarter than me, but she was wrong here, so I think I might not be remembering right. Right, according to her, 3 men and 4 women would end up trapped. As things are right now, it's 4 men and 3 women, not counting Naomi.
That's true, see? She was wrong about this. She might have been wrong when she said that nobody else would have gotten trapped.
Oh god, I think I understand the situation. So originally it was meant to be 3 men and 4 women. However, you know what? You know what we could say? The 4th man is a Kate. That's so it's like it was meant to be three people, 3 guys. Now it's 4 guys because Kate is here, and it was meant to be 4 women. Now it's 3 women because Naomi's dead.
I mean,
Or the little girl could die.
So
Do we
Kate
count-
being here was not intended by Zin or something like that. I think that's what's gonna happen.
no. What? Okay, so they assumed 3 men, 4 female, right?
hmm
Right now it's 4 men and 3 women, not counting Naomi. But why not counting Naomi?
If we do
Huh?
count Naomi, it's 4 men and 4 women. That's it.
Couple of instances. Well,
Did you read your line?
long time ago.
Okay. But no, that's not right. I might be wrong, but the number of boys and girls, I'm sure she said that only 7 people would stay.
Listen, we can't stop searching because of what someone told you before we came here. She couldn't have known anything, don't you get it?
But she was right, we ended up trapped and it's 7 of us. She even said all the windows would lock down. I'm very confused about this. Are you blatantly lying to us? Because only a very select number of people would have known about the alarm's existence. If she truly said that, could it be that your friend works here? No, that's impossible. I won't say anything else or I might put her in danger. You can believe what I said if you want.
I don't know.
Inferno, go.
Alright. Standing up from the chair, Isla reached for the door and left. Despite all she said, we still saw Lee dangerous, so we followed her through the 4th. I'm so good.
Truly.
What the hell was all of that? There really are 2 options. Either Ida is lying, or someone who knew the attack would happen has been in contact with her. I'm not sure if I want to believe her, but I think it's much more likely that the first option is correct. Creating an imaginary friend and making up all sorts of lies to justify their existence isn't uncommon behavior. But some things she said really are strange. If she was trying to justify her friend's existence, why would she purposely set the number of men and women incorrectly? And given how likely it is for Naomi to be still here, why would she claim otherwise? Wouldn't now finding Naomi disprove her friend?
Someone told Isla about the alarm. They had to work here. It's been continuously told to us that very few people know about it. Another possibility is that Zin found out about the alarm and its features. Isla did say that her friend doesn't work here. Now the big question. Why would Zin make contact with Isla and tell her all that? What's there to gain, and why Isla? There's no way her friend lives with them like she said. That would mean that Zin instructed her to lie about her friend's identity so that the actual person couldn't be found. But why the hell would they let her speak about it at all instead of telling her to keep fully quiet?
Isla told us that she promised her friend not to reveal information about it, but it didn't seem like they agreed not to reveal about today's incident. I have no idea what anyone would have to gain by telling Isla about any of this, but if their intention was to manipulate her actions in some way, there has to be a very important reason. One last thing is that Isla's friend didn't know how things would end. This appears to back up Sai's theory. The plan isn't over yet. However, she also said that she didn't know how long we'd stay here for. 12 hours is the maximum time. Is it possible that depending on on how some events play out, we could leave earlier? Incidentally, her friend told her that everything would be fine if we stay put somewhere. Could it be that Zin doesn't want us to search around the building? I'm not sure how I should be handling it since it didn't seem as if she was instructed to tell us any of this. She just mentioned it out of honest concern after seeing how worried we were. If none of her actions were instructed and she was already given details, I can't think of a single reason why Zin would do such a seemingly pointless and risky thing.
Interesting.
Sussy.
Sissy, if her
I don't
friend
get
as an actual person who knew this incident would occur, it follows they knew she would end up involved in it. Since I can't think of why Zena would do it, it is the smallest thing I can construct has, once again, Kate as the focus. The only things Isla revealed about her friend's identity were her gender and the fact that they don't work in this building. I've been thinking of Kate as a core suspect, so it's easy to pin him as the identity behind Isla's friend. However, he's a man. If he
I mean,
instructed,
they don't have to say the truth.
I guess, but Isla's not a liar, right?
Yeah, but what if Isla never saw the person? What if they're contacting through messages?
Hmm. If he instructed Isla to make sure not to reveal his identity, she would have called her friend a girl, and the one thing she would have denied would have been them working in the tower. I'm not sure how much credit I should give Isla, or if I'm not going off too many branches, but even though she's a kid, she surely should be able to bring things up without making it evident she'd been waiting for a good moment. I have no idea what any of this accomplishes, but since only some of Ashia's workers should have known about the alarm's existence, only them or an attacker with inside information could have been in contact with Isla. Reasons aside, Ashi employees could have been relaying information to her. Two happen to come to mind, one being a man and the other being a woman. So, is it possible that Naomi is her friend?
I don't think so. What? What's so funny? What's so funny?
We're baiting it for now.
I posted a BC chat.
What's a friend or
New
child
friendship
member?
text just dropped.
It's just handing. It's just handing over the controller to your brother.
You can tell your friends to DI for you, or to react to DI for you. Oh god. Okay, wait. Am I reading? Oh, who read the last one?
Oh, it was 7, so it's me actually.
So yes, it's you right now. Go.
In the end, though, I went back to thinking that the most likely possibility was that Isla had made everything up. Maybe she had randomly thought of mentioning the number of men and women, but had purposely said them incorrectly. As an unusual thing, she would have had no reason to make it up. Maybe she'd intended to say it the right way, but had quickly realized that she had miscounted. The whole thing had truly messed with me, and I kept trying to make a sense of it until we reached the 4th floor.
Right. It appears desolate as soon as we arrive. The chances of finding people increase with each floor, so with a bit of precaution, we move towards the petition.
Is the other group not here yet?
The first partition looked empty. Once again, we saw the same layout as the other floor.
Maybe they found something. I think they would definitely would have arrived here.
I don't like how Shiroya is looking at me. It looks very weird.
Why?
I'm not sure.
So she's looking
Seven,
at the
it's your
cutting.
turn.
Okay. I repeated the process earlier and quickly deemed the 3 partitions empty. Next were the 2 bathrooms. However, before we headed to them, I thought I noticed another sound, just as faint as the last. It was easy to pinpoint its origin. I peeked into the right corridor and saw 2 human figures standing next to the staircase. They're here. Our attention was quickly diverted. The 3 girls glanced as well and quickly spotted them. Where's Kate? As Ilek pointed out, only Sai and Akro were there. As soon as they noticed us, they stopped talking and gestured at us to come over.
Oh no, what am I doing?
How do things go? Anything notable?
Nothing. Are the other 2 floors like this one?
Exactly the same. They only contain 3 big rooms full of offices. Where did Kate go? Why is he not with you?
Oh, it's not the easiest thing to explain.
It is. Naomi showed up and requested to talk to
What?
her privately.
Naomi?
Huh? Where was she?
It can't be though. Naomi shouldn't be here.
It's time to stop, Isla. Don't keep going when it's clear you were wrong.
Why shouldn't she? We were about to move up to this floor when Naomi came up from the second. I'm positive she came from the stairs. From the stairs?
Maybe-
Shouldn't you guys have inspected
maybe.
floor 2?
We did. It's very possible she was on the crystal floor since there was no place to hide on the second one.
And she voluntarily appeared to talk to Kate?
Pretty much. It looked like she wanted to talk to Akra first, but as soon as she saw Kate, she forgot about him.
Well, she approached me first because I was the closest to the stairs. Then they went to talk.
Man, Akra got cucked by Kate, unbelievable. The woman of his dreams, you know?
Bruh.
Yes, we finished up. We finished up floor 3, and we have been waiting here since we looked at the 2 bathrooms. They left about 15 minutes ago. Did you not try to follow them? What do they want to talk about? Nami went ahead and asked us not to follow them, so unfortunately I had to abandon my plan of tagging along. Realistically, if they made sure to be alone, we couldn't have done anything to eavesdrop without being noticed. The quarters here are pretty tight.
7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Oh no, no wait, I was counting to be like the next person to narrate. So right now it would be you.
Okay.
It sounded like they wanted to talk about confidential matters. When I first saw Naomi, I got really surprised, but her face must have looked even more distressed than mine. She looked preoccupied and determined at the same time. That's how I defined her when she was insisting to talk to Kati privately.
I see. We were debating the contents of their talk just now. I gave Akro the rundown regarding Kate, and he really hadn't considered anything.
I still think you're rethinking a few things, but I can't deny that they're the 2 most suspicious people. So I really think they're up to no good.
Am I being unreasonable? If I was wrong, they would have told us the main gist of it. Naomi might not have been with us the whole time, but she must have been conscious of the situation and our perception of her, but she barely acknowledged us. I'm still trying to process everything. So, Naomi really was here. This means that the most likely scenario was that she was the one to leave the suitcase downstairs, right? Yes, she might not have been aware of how wary we were of her. And openly showed up to talk with the other main suspect, Kate. Also looked surprised. Hold on. This cable is messing with me. Okay, got it. Kate also looked surprised, so perhaps he thought she would have remained hidden. Regardless, it's safe to assume they're now talking about their plan.
So right now would be Zen.
Why do you care about that? It's Shiroya.
No, I was thinking about the narration.
Shut up.
Anyway,
Speak, please.
I think he's dead.
It's okay. So how are you doing, Inferno?
Look at voice chat.
I'm
of the
here.
thing that
Hello?
posted. Hyzen,
Okay, welcome back.
you
Read.
died.
Read!
That's what I was reading. I should
You
trust them a
died.
bit more. Since the two of them work here, I think it's very possible that they're talking about Ashu matters.
Tell me then. Riddle me this, Shiroya. Why did Naomi hide from us? Why did she appear out of nowhere and didn't even try to explain anything? Her actions are strange even if she's on the corporate side, but her face wasn't the one of someone who suddenly got trapped and looked for people then for an entire hour.
Her perspective might have been different from ours, being an Ashi employee that's aware of Zin's attacks.
And I acknowledge that possibility. Her actions simply made it unlikely.
Well, we'll have to wait for them
What's
to come back.
happening,
I'm
Inferno?
sure they'll verify all of this.
I'm posting funny stuff in voice chat.
Yeah, we decided to stay here and make sure they couldn't escape, but we were also waiting for you four. If there are more than two of us, we can split ourselves through the first 3 floors while someone stays here to make sure they're confined below.
Wouldn't they be able to
I'm
use the
sorry.
elevator?
I'm
We
sorry,
would hear it.
Seven.
Yes, but we would know. I meant to ask you guys about that. A few minutes ago, after Kate and Naomi left, we heard the elevator moving to our floor, even though we were right next to it. We weren't able to determine the direction it was going to.
But you have been
Oh,
to the 6th floor. It could only have been going down. They only heard it once.
so that was the elevator. What's this?
I think this is
7.
That made sense. It had been a deep noise that had lingered for a bit. Since it had been moving, the exact position on the floor it had come from hadn't been easily distinguishable. As I thought, none of you used it. That's strange, right? We were sure it was the elevator because it made the same noise we heard when you used it on the 12th floor. Even if you decided to go back down for some reason, we found it appropriate to stay here. Are you sure it only moved one time? Yeah, we were right next to it and only heard it once. That's why if Kate and Naomi use it, we'll know. We could even call it and keep the door open. That way, they wouldn't be able to use it. They wouldn't be able to use it at all. Right, that's what I thought you would suggest. I stayed here for another reason too, which is why we didn't call it here and do that immediately. The sound might make it possible to anticipate the elevator. We might be quick enough to press the button before it goes past us. That would trap them inside and then we could open the door before they could start moving again. I see. The sound from earlier doesn't make much sense though. We left the elevator on floor 6 and heard it moving on floor 5. As you said, it could only have been going down.
Yeah, I don't get it. My floor 5, we knew nobody could have been above us.
Is it possible someone sneaked past you while you were investigating? If all you were inside the partition gun looking through the glass, it could have happened.
I really don't think so. I really don't think so. I stayed in the front for the most part, and I really doubt I missed anyone.
Well, if it didn't, then someone below us could have called it. And what we heard was the empty elevator.
Huh? It must have been either Kate or Naomi. If you didn't hear again, they must have called it to then not use it.
Right. Maybe they wanted it easily available in 4.1 if they needed to use it. Or there is another person. That could be it too. Just saying.
Her friend, maybe? Yeah. We began to hear footsteps in the distance. We all quieted down at the same time, straining to hear if we'd imagined it. They didn't stop. The sound became more and more perceptible until it was clear that only one pair of legs were approaching.
Let's see what's up.
We stood at the staircase where the sound was coming from, until Kate's white hair peeked from below. Recognizable white hair. When he saw all of us, he looked up with a plain face and stopped moving without making it all the way up.
Where's Naomi? We went to the crystal floor, but she didn't want to come back.
Why not?
Sai's immediate reaction threw Kate off, and he took a few seconds to answer.
During that time, he looked at the rest of us. It might have been just my impression, but it felt like he particularly fixed his eyes on me. She didn't explain it. I asked her to come since I knew I'd be highly I knew I'd be highly suspected otherwise, but she refused. She left the room where we were, and I stayed there a few more minutes, sorting my thoughts out before returning here.
What did you talk
Inferno,
about?
could you get a bit? Inferno, could you get a little bit closer to the microphone?
Hold on. Is this better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Okay. About the incident, of course. It surprised me a bit, but her intention was to clear her name. She told me she hadn't done anything.
That was what she wanted to talk to you about privately?
Yes, I didn't believe her though.
You didn't?
No. Her words sounded forced as she was trying to cover herself up with lies. I know you've been suspecting me, but since I know I'm not innocent, my main suspicions were directed to Naomi from the beginning. She saw her explanations were working and I refused to appear before you. She must have tried to love with me because we worked together for a long time.
So, she only wanted to convince you.
Yes, I don't know why though. Even if she achieved that, it's not like she could have convinced the police. Hearing her justification made me think even more that she is in some other way involved. Even though she ran away, I didn't try to find her. Figured that she could keep hiding. She still has to be somewhere on the crystal floor.
Out of curiosity, did you ever call the elevator?
The elevator? No, why?
We heard it moving down, so if it wasn't you, Naomi might have called it. It didn't go up again, though.
I see. So she's definitely still on the run.
Regardless, what did Naomi tell you? What was it that made you suspect her even harder? I don't know why he became British for a second there.
She spat out nothing but inconsistencies. She said that she'd been trying to find help since waking up. She couldn't answer why she'd gotten up on the office floor instead of aiding everyone's group or staying with everyone in the event room. She tried to make me believe that she'd been searching for people until now, and that coincidentally she hadn't found us yet. There was no way I could have believed that. According to her, she had nothing to do with the power outage or the suitcase. She said she didn't see the suitcase the first time she went up, but I was there when she came back down. I assume you didn't find anyone naturally.
Right. Why did I
Then,
say right?
right.
Right.
Left.
Left.
Middle.
See, the difference between the right is and the left is
Perpendicular.
perpendicular. Then that has to settle it. If nobody else is here, only she could have left the suitcase in hallway C. She almost broke down as she thought of more ways to explain herself. You'll see when we find her. By the way, when the elevator moved, couldn't it have been the higher group?
Us? No, we didn't use it again.
Is that so? And you didn't get separated?
Again, he said that while looking directly at me.
Ain't no way he was actually counting.
I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, no, but it was actually you.
Are you being
No.
so insistent? Do you have a reason to think we split up?
What? We didn't even say our
We
lines.
did. Oh my
What
god, he's so
is
bad.
bro on about, yo?
Yoink.
No, we stayed together until now.
Are you sure?
Why are you being so insistent? Do you have a reason to think we split up?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Forgive me, Yatsuki.
Sus. What the hell was up with him? That's your
That's
Inferno.
not you.
Bro, that's. Oh my
He's
god.
so bad at this game.
I'm telling you, Alzheimer.
Also,
George Biden. George Biden.
What the hell was up with him? That sounded like a taunt without having it felt like
Tuyil.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Why is it so funny?
We have
Oh,
2 years, Inferno Biden.
Oh my
It better
God.
bite fire.
Shut up! I'm not gonna. I want to finish this game this year.
I don't think it's gonna be possible.
We're gonna drop this game like midway through. Watch.
Watch.
I'm going to see the mystery at the end, even if we can't. If we don't finish it together, I'm looking up to Vicky or something.
Makes
Alright.
sense to me.
His behavior toward me had changed in some way. I didn't know the reason, but it felt like he was trying to incite me to say something.
I'm sure they didn't split up. The four of them came from floor 5, and nobody could have gone past us while we were investigating floors 2 and 3.
Alright then. No, a side with actual useful information?
Rare.
Rare.
As if we were all conspiring against him, he turned around and stopped moving. I was a
Common
bit puzzled.
side W. The same.
I was a bit puzzled trying to understand how to interpret his new attitude. Well, we will always be able to check the security footage once that's fixed. For now, we should make sure to find Naomi, I'd say. Implying one more time that there was more to our— shut the fuck. There was more to our actions than we'd let on. He breathed slowly and started to go back down without turning around. Someone should stay here in case Naomi tries to go up. The rest of us will split downstairs to make sure. Well, that's a terrible idea. Another
Right.
person will also be needed to stay on floor 2 to make sure she doesn't intend to point us to go hide. 3 will be enough to inspect the whole first floor. One person will stay in the lobby, the other in hallway C, and the last person will check every room in both hallways. She will not escape. The person in the lobby will look through hallway B, and the one in hallway C will look through hallway A. This time, Naomi won't be able to cross between hallways. Let's go. I'll stay in the lobby and check the mechanical room.
What if they plant?
Hmm.
This is a plan with Naomi and Kate.
Probably. Alright, that doesn't sound bad to me.
I'll look through the rooms. I think I should be the one to do that.
Kyle and I will stay here since only 4 people are needed. We'll keep a watch at the elevator.
No, I'll look through the rooms too.
Be a bit cooperative, Lila. I think staying here would be better for everyone.
Zen.
As if she hadn't heard her mother, Lila ran down the stairs. Instead of trying to convince her, the others thought it'd be better to follow behind. Shiroi, Sai, and I were the ones without an assistant assigned position, which left us unaware of what to do.
Hmm.
7?
I'm eating the cookie, hold on.
Oh
He's
my.
zooming.
It's not ideal, but I quickly check through the floors 2 and 3 with Akro's help, and then stay in hallway C. You two make sure the elevator doesn't let Naomi escape. Num num, yummy. And then there's like what runs away.
Naomi.
Yummy.
Waiting for a reply, Sai left both of us on the 4th floor, all by ourselves.
Alright then, here we are.
Hopefully we can find her and clear everything up.
I can't imagine Naomi hiding from them unless she knows about some secret spot.
Yeah, it won't take very long either.
I'm curious to see what'll happen. It's unfortunate she appeared while we weren't there, but it's very likely that she did actually appear, since the three of them would have no reason to lie together.
Were you thinking that maybe Naomi had never shown up?
No, not really. I just couldn't take it completely seriously since we hadn't seen her.
You thought Kate was lying to us earlier, right? Have you changed your mind?
Thinking back on what Katya just said, I wasn't sure how to approach it.
I don't know. Honestly, everything Kate said regarding Naomi just now sounded very questionable, but it seemed like he really wanted us to find her. You heard how determined he sounded. I'm not sure he'd lied about what Tsunami told him to then make us find her. Actually I did not, because there was no voice acting in this game.
True.
Okay, but if there was, then we wouldn't be able to voice over.
True, then we would have never played
Sure.
the game.
So
Exactly.
it's likely it was all the truth.
I'm not really
Tru-
sure.
Truth persona.
Anyway,
So it's the truth.
Cross slash.
Persona!
Cross slash.
Raw slash!
And we read.
No. Anyway, how are you holding up? Sorry, I've just been trying to think about. We were
7.
both startled.
Nothing.
Though louder and clearer, the same sound we heard earlier had repeated. She took the elevator!
How did she run away? I recall what Sai had said. Too late. We weren't close enough to stop it on the 4th floor. Trying to avoid wasting time, we ran toward the other side to arrive at her destination before we missed her. In our defense, we'd heard the sound when the elevator had been about to pass us by, so stopping it in time wouldn't have been possible. She just kept it open. I didn't think she would actually go up.
And I didn't think fast enough. Damn it! So I just wanted to keep them in place.
Troy ran behind me. I wanted to tell her just go by myself, but it would have been considerate. If I thought going up was dangerous, I would have tried to make her stay behind. But if all Naomi was doing was running around defenseless, the odds were probably enough for it. Even though the floors were very wide, the path to the next one was straightforward enough to make it a quick trip. We arrived on floor 5. We thought the elevator hadn't stopped there because it had seemed to linger for a bit too long, but I still quickly went through the 3 partition while Shiora stayed next to the first door. As I thought, they were empty. I met Shiora by the door with a dubious look. We would hear it if Naomi used the elevator to get back down, so there was no way she'd make it past us unnoticed.
Nothing. She must be upstairs.
We directed ourselves towards the 6th floor, but Shiora stopped.
Hold on, let's check this.
7.
She tried to open the elevator, but the door didn't budge. Since that was above us, she pressed the button to call it. Shortly, the button lit up in orange silence. Then Shuri opened the door and saw the empty elevator.
How fast it got there must have been on the 6th floor.
Technically, there was just one more possibility, the attic. A special key was needed though, and Shiroya was right. The elevator had only taken a few seconds to arrive, indicating that there had been only a single floor of separation. By moving it, we'd also prevented Naomi from using it upstairs.
We quickly went to the 6th floor, where the elevator had been brought. It hadn't been used again, so someone had to remain there. It was likely Naomi was very close. The bathrooms were empty, so she had to be further ahead. I'll go check. Make sure nobody can leave.
It would have been
Not be
funny.
safe. Don't just go alone.
It would have been funny if she was the man bathroom.
If she was what?
If she was in the male bathroom.
Oh, that'd be kind of funny, yeah. She was like, they clearly not check this one. Man in a woman's bathroom.
But hear me out.
Okay.
What if she got in the disabled person bathrooms? Then they would not be able to get in because they're not disabled. That would be rude.
Literally
True.
impossible to break in.
Literally impossible.
With a meaningless head gesture, she ran off and left me by myself. She was clearly not content with the thought of waiting behind again. I knew I had to go with her. Letting someone escape was far less important than letting Shurya confront potential danger, but I couldn't bring myself to move.
Pussy.
She had disappeared from my field of vision.
No, this is me.
Oh, right. Sorry.
You are so bad.
Sorry.
She had disappeared from my field of vision. Given the layout of the floor, she wouldn't be able to make sure nobody could sneak past her, so I had to wait behind in anticipation. She first checked the opposite corridor and someone was hiding the partition. They could then escape. If someone was the corridor she chose to first inspect the partition, they could also escape. However, such a thing didn't actually hold up at all. To inspect the corridor, she would only have to see if it was empty from a position that would still let her see the inside of the first partition. That could let the culprit escape, but at least they'd be seen. I felt like she'd known being about to ask her to stay behind and had chosen to change our rules before I had the chance to. Trying not to let undesired thoughts get the best of me. I attempt to stay calm and shoot I head out. I'll be frank, the game is actually more interesting when there is no Kate exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
when actual mystery is happening, this game is so like
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah, there you make so many theories up in your head, and all of them has a chance to like be theoretically possible.
And then sometimes you just have 30-minute exposition from Kate.
Yeah, it's true. And then
So
Kate is like,
true.
listen here.
Almost half a minute had passed, and I began to get impatient and a bit more anxious. While the floor was big, it was also silent, so if she felt she was in danger, I would be able to hear her shout easily.
Unless I
Big
get
it-
stopped.
Only
Big
a
as
few
your
s-
mom.
Because your mom. Only a few seconds after that, I snapped. What was I doing? Standing there and leaving her up against an unknown person who had been involved in the attack. I took off running as soon as the realization finally came to me. Or I'd been about to before I saw Shuria's figure coming from out of the narrow passageway. She approached me slowly and noticed my anxiety.
Did something happen?
No, nothing. It took a bit, so I started to worry.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, I didn't find anyone though.
How's that possible? There should have been someone.
I know, but look, this is what I wanted to show you.
Huh?
The Sekimeiya, the
Yeah, she
Spongler.
found the Sekimeiya. Once again, she walked back the way she'd come from, instructing me to follow her. Had she found something important? Instead of stopping in front of partitions, she continued toward the other corridor. Earlier, we had deemed the corridor empty, so we completely missed the door.
What?
Naruhodo-san?
I said what?
I don't.
You did it.
Oh,
I'm going to get the fucking recording out. This is so cringe.
Mr. Naruhodo.
What?
Mr. Naruto.
Yes, look.
Uh,
Yes, look, but it's closed.
It's okay. I'll kick the door in.
She was right. At the far back of what happened to be a dead end, there was a small door that we internally missed.
Oh, of course. We were told that this door existed.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It looked just like just like a plain door. Instinctively, I reached for the door and tried to get it to open to no avail. It was very tightly locked. Under it was a big key code that would require an equally big key to unlock the special section of the tower.
So,
This is probably the Ashia
Yeah.
thing.
so past this door must be the attic, where Ashia lived for years.
Yes, it has to be that. There must be different stairs leading up to it since it's a floor higher.
Right. So it's very likely whoever came up here had a way to open this door. There is no other explanation, really.
Thought about it a little, and that doesn't make sense to me. I looked through this corridor first, and since we were covering the only exit, I knew I had plenty of time, so I walked further and realized we'd missed this door. So I tried to open it, but it was already locked. Then I went to the partitions, which were empty since nobody could have left this floor. The only explanation is that they went through here.
You know what this is? So you know those like fucking secret doors that like blend in with the wall? This is like one of those that it probably had like a plate over it that made it blend with the rest of the wall, and that plate was removed by whoever got up here using the elevator.
No.
Because
No.
here's the thing, there's nobody you missed a fucking door. They probably had like something over the door that would like kind of hide it and like make it blend in.
No, I think we're just blind.
Nah. Van
I
Dyne's
think,
rules, Van Dyne's golden mystery rules. Come on, Umineko reference. Secret passages must only exist when implied. That's how it works.
I think your mom.
Okay. Well, oh, Shiroya dialogue. Holy shit! Shiroya is talking properly. Look, not just one sentence. There's like actual dialogue in here. Impossible.
She's been talking for a while now. I
No,
don't
no,
know
no.
why
Like multiple like multiple sentences, like
Yeah,
paragraphs
but
like this.
but she has had
Huh.
a couple.
Okay, sure. Anyway, go on.
What doesn't make sense to me is that they get off on this floor with the elevator.
You're right. We determined it was here, so if whoever used it was able to open this door, they would have just taken the elevator all the way up.
Yeah, Kate said earlier that the required key works for both door and the elevator.
So it doesn't go up to the next floor then. Maybe.
Me?
I think so, maybe. I don't know.
I tried to look through
Yes.
the keyhole and under the door, but nothing could be seen. Was there someone behind it, possibly listening to us?
We went up fast, so I doubt they could have taken the elevator up to the attic and then sent it to the 6th floor to conceal where they'd gone.
Yeah, we experienced how slow it was. There wouldn't have been time for that. I thought that maybe this door was already unlocked, or that they had the key hidden somewhere on this floor.
I doubt the door was unlocked. We could have easily found it earlier, but so they wouldn't have let us make sure it like that. Also, it's locked now. If it was actually open, unless it can be manually locked from the inside, they must have had a key. Who's this? Who's this? I
Seven.
guess me.
7.
I stayed quiet for a bit. Were we on the right line of thinking? If the culprit had access to the attic, a few things we'd considered would be invalidated. What if the elevator was empty?
And someone sent it here from the crystal floor?
I'm not sure what the intention would be, but it's possible whoever sent it was hoping to lure us out of where we were.
Oh, yeah. If they wanted to get to the 4th floor, they could have sent the elevator to make us follow it, but that seems pointless. You'd give them time, but they'd still be cornered. It's very easy to inspect every floor.
And Sai did say that he would check the 2nd and 3rd floors before staying in hallway C. Unless he was the one who moved it, the culprit would have also had to make it past him.
Such a theory sounded very unlikely, but if it was right, we'd soon find out. We couldn't know if the elevator had moved before the others had reached the crystal floor.
I was also thinking that if the person we were searching for has access to the attic, they might have been responsible for the first time we've heard the elevator. We made sure floors 5 and 6 were empty, but if that person was 1 floor higher, they could have called the elevator resting on floor 6 and then gone down with it. That would explain why it didn't immediately go back up.
Then the same person must have been who used it just now. It's possible they got off on floor 6 instead of the attic because they knew it would be empty and could easily reach the store. If we noticed the elevator and followed it, it would appear that the elevator had been empty. But if they had gone directly to the attic instead, we could have noticed that it had arrived there if we quickly called the elevator.
I see. Something along those lines might make the most sense. We should go see if the others found Naomi.
7.
It's me?
Yes.
We slowly walked back. I'd always seen Shiroya as a smart person, and she had just shown that sharing my thoughts with her was a good idea despite her recent frame of mind. Perhaps she
A
had
smart
been
person. Smart person that only knows how to most of the time only speaks 1 sentences.
Why are you so quiet? What's on your mind? Shiroya, Capybara song.
Bro, Kate is telling that to me. You are literally saying the same lines for 80 years, dog. Hello?
So true. Hold on. I have an idea. This
Your
is not
mom.
the one. Where is it?
Hold on, did I accidentally make my
Whatever. I was
microphone?
trying to look at the map, but it's not here anymore.
Get mapped.
I knew things wouldn't quite feel right for a much longer time, but if we went back to being our normal selves around each other, we could dare much quicker. I had kept thinking about it lately. I didn't know if the fact that my main wish was to go back to how things used to be meant that I was a bad person, but I couldn't change the way I felt. Before we reached the staircase, we noticed that fast but quiet footsteps were approaching. We stopped awkwardly and waited to see who they belonged to. It was Akuro. He came running from floor 5.
What are you doing here? We need you to come to the crystal.
Did you find Naomi?
No, quite the opposite. So I said that all of us should be there to discuss what happened.
Right, let's go then.
Akuro, out of breath, turned around without wasting time.
I didn't think you'd be in the highest floor. Weren't you supposed to wait for the 4th? We begin to go
Lol, I get one text, get up.
Oh my god. We begin to go down the stairs. Meanwhile, we told Haguro that we determined the elevator had stopped on the 6th floor and that we hadn't. Our conversation continued as we quickly circled through floors 5 and 4. Akura was hurrying up to a fair bit, having not given us much context. Alright, we vaguely heard the elevator. Oh, the title was not to chase us since you would take care of it. It could have been seen as bait.
I suppose he gave us too much credit. We didn't react immediately, but I doubt we could have intercepted it.
Those were the last words we heard during the wait. Neither of them chose to reply with anything else. Once we made it to the last set of stairs, we slowed down our pace as I began to think about what could have happened to the men who were in immediate presence. So,
The others were all next to the stairs, waiting for us. That took a bit. Where were you?
on the 6th floor.
Oh, so you had to check every floor.
I just ran up hoping to eventually find them, and they said they hadn't seen me.
Okay, kind of based. Instead of checking them, he just climbed each one.
It's where the elevator stopped, but we're not sure anyone came out of it. So I was right. For some reason, they just wanted it to be followed. I doubt it, honestly. They could only gain time doing that, which, given there are 11 hours left, seems silly. It's possible they don't know that they've been trapped here for 12 hours, but they can't simply be trying to buy themselves time. I think they might have actually escaped by using the elevator. How? Before that, why don't you tell us what happened? Was Naomi here?
I couldn't
Zen.
see her, so it was safe to assume that that wasn't the case. I wanted to get straight to the point before suggesting that the person hiding from us might have had access to the attic.
We haven't looked through the whole floor yet, actually. I quickly make sure nobody was on the third and second floors while the others prevented anyone from sneaking past. That was when the elevator was used, and I assume you couldn't stop it.
No, we weren't expecting it so soon.
Whatever. We went to the first floor and Kate's search method was put into effect. He went ahead and looked through the lobby and the mechanical room. When he was done, he stood next to the door leading to hallway B. Akira began to look through the hallway B rooms, having previously looked at the bathrooms. Isla wanted to join them, so Erna had to follow behind. The three of them started to enter the rooms while I stayed here, looking at hallway A so nobody could escape. Since the elevator had already gone up, it was pointless to call and leave its door open. I couldn't see the three of them looking inside the room since I was staring at the other hallway and blocking the staircase though. Anyway, apparently, when they entered the event room, Isla went ahead and raised the curtain of the cabinet. "It's gone!" shout I heard even from here conveyed her surprise pretty well.
What? The Sekimeiya is gone?
Yes, it should have been still there, but I didn't see it anywhere. Kate abandoned his position after hearing Isla's shout, but I didn't want to rush inside and leave an easy escape route open. When they came and told me what had happened, I thought you two had come. But since we're dealing with the situation, I found it appropriate to join up and make sure nothing slipped away. I told Akira to go find you, and I took that time to check if it had truly disappeared while the others waited here. It did. I stayed there for a while, thinking about what could have happened, and expecting to find you two when I came back. Anyway. Many rooms have not been investigated. We stayed here until you came back to secure the only exits. I understand. It's good that the stairs and the elevators are next to each other. Can I go see it? If you're looking forward to seeing an empty cabinet, go ahead. As long as someone stays here, we can move through this floor.
7.
Okay, everyone else had been looking at us without uttering a word. Shiroi and I slowly walked toward hallway A, and we saw that nobody was stopping us. We sped up to the event room.
It's really not here.
The egg is gone. It's gonna hatch.
They stole the egg is about to hatch.
I suppose he was right. There wasn't much a point in checking.
Not really.
Your mom.
We left through the same door and approached the others as I thought about it. What had happened? Were there really that many possibilities?
Was it gone or did we all lie? Apparently not. The Sekimeiya was stolen this early, which is surprising. Anyone have a suggestion regarding what could have happened before we resume our search?
It could have only been Olymia, right?
No, it could have been Nami, Kate, or an unknown person.
Will you never stop suspecting me?
It seems odd. When we split in two groups, it's possible that either Naomi or an unknown person already stole the Sekimeiya. That's very easy to construct. When we were in hallway B, Naomi could have entered the event room from hallway A, for example. The group that took the elevator, Atsuki, Shiroya, Arena, and I couldn't have gotten to this floor.
Are you sure? It's possible they went past us and we didn't notice.
You already tried to say this earlier, didn't you? They couldn't have done that. The way we looked through the floors would have made that impossible, and they couldn't have used the elevator since we only heard it once. And naturally, when you came here with Naomi, we would have had an easy time picking up the Sekimeiya and then hiding it somewhere. Later, we'll check that mechanical room you were happy to inspect.
This is ridiculous. Didn't I say how important it was for the Sekimeiya to stay in its cabinet? Why would I hide it? There aren't even places to hide in this building and it would be pointless.
I will admit that I have no idea what your reason could be, but similarly, I can't think of one regardless of who the culprit is. As you say, there aren't any hiding spots, and it's very early for this. If one thing's for sure, it's that right now, the Sekimeiya must be on this floor with the culprit. There is no other possibility unless you question me and think that Akro and I could have gone down instead of waiting for on floor 4. I don't believe that's true. You'd look through floors 3 and 2 for Naomi, but if the Sekimeiya was left there, you might have missed it. Oh, correct, that's a possibility too. But since the elevator went up was probably empty, nobody can be upstairs now to go pick it up and hide it further. So we can easily look for it above if nothing's found on this floor.
Even though floors 2 and 3 are a possibility, and it was also very possible that the culprit had gone to the attic holding the Sekimeiya, if our search meant nothing, I would bring up the conclusion Shiroya and I reached.
Let's proceed then. We'll need to start from the beginning. Someone else go look through the lobby and the mechanical room though. Maybe we should start with that one.
Which one? Zen?
I directed my look at the room where the gemstone had been stolen. A5. Because of the camera?
Yes, like Sai said, anything on this floor right now seems weird since we should be able to find it easily. We have plenty of time and it's not a hard task. Not to mention that even if we can't find it, Ashia surely will. It feels pretty redundant. But there must be an actual reason behind it. And if they really intend to hide it from us, a room that's not being recorded seems to be the most likely place. Even if it's not found, Ashia will never be able to look at the footage and to see who did it. This is a bit confusing though. It's true that our 3 suspects are Kate, Naomi, and an unknown person. All of them would have had access to the Sekimeiya while we were asleep, so I wonder why they didn't hide it then. That's true. Well, we can check there first if someone stays here.
Sai walked the room and gestured at me to follow him. Everyone else stayed next to the stairs as it wasn't yet a thorough search that would require further positioning.
Let's see. We should keep the door open, otherwise we won't see anything. Inferno?
At first glance, there wasn't anything odd in the room. It looked as it had when we last been there. Even though cabinets were using aside, I started slowly examining them. I began looking toward the opposite side of the room. Shortly, I confirmed that places to hide the small objects certainly existed. Behind the cabinet, under the pillows, and nobody held gemstones, the cabinet even had empty drawers. As I looked aside, I realized that even though their looks were nearly identical, not every cabinet was the same. I was looking inside the expansive interior of a cabinet after he'd opened up the heavy-looking lid. It seemed that the upper sections where the gemstones usually are could be lifted up.
Is there anything there? Yes. No, they seem to have hollow interiors. Most likely to store things. Look though.
I had to get closer as the lack of illumination made it impossible to see what he was holding. It was nothing noteworthy. He was cupping a small yellow in his palm.
Oh my god. Do you guys remember how the police found like someone with a suitcase escaping? Earlier?
Yeah.
And we concluded that it was like a diversion from the real heist?
Yeah.
No, nothing was stolen. They're still in this place. All those gemstones. Watch. They're calling it right now.
I mean,
I already read my line.
Okay. They must keep some of those inside the cabinets to swap out the displayed ones. Apparently, not all this room's valuables were stolen. I see, I guess this could make for a decent hiding spot. Sort of, the others were taking a while to find it earlier, so they probably opened up some cabinets too. It's still an obvious spot if you're trying to find something.
I went ahead and opened. Oh, right. Sorry, that's you.
I went ahead and opened up the cabinet that looked like the one Sai was next to. It was a lot easier than it looked, and a wide but completely empty compartment appeared before me. As all the displayed pieces were usually attached to the surface below the glass, the lid opened up like a chest agent roll. There's nothing in this one. Yeah, the first one I looked at was empty as well. Not many more cabinets were left. Shortly after that, we looked through all of them. It seems you were wrong. It's not here. Son?
I started to go over the cabinets I had looked through to be confident.
Do you doubt my searching abilities? Do you think I hid it here and ignored it? Neither. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything.
I answered without looking at him. It didn't take me long to come to the same conclusion. The Sekimeiya was not in this room.
Are you done? Will take forever if every room takes this long. We should probably look for anyone on this floor and do a slower search for the Sekimeiya. The chances of someone on the Sekimeiya being here are pretty much the same. That could be a good idea. Let's go back.
When you turn around, when you turn around, I fix my eyes on Sai's back, specifically at the hip pack going around his waist. Ayo?
Ayo.
He stopped when he knows. He stopped when he knows I was staring at him.
You want this one, big boy? Like it looks like a fucking MC. Are you looking at this? And like slaps his own ass.
Mmm. He turned it around and showed me its contents. I can only see a wallet and lip balm appropriate for the cold. Lip balm?
Don't be stupid. It might fit in here, but it'd be more than noticeable. You think I'd found it and masterfully put it in without your notice? Oh no, I was just looking at it. I was looking at your ass. I quite like it too.
I'll be right back.
One of those birthday presents I first struck up and ended up losing frequently.
Once again, he turned around and quickly left the room. Outside, I saw him and followed his steps. Outside, he was already next to the others.
Zan is gone.
Right now we have, now we have
Nothing.
to wait for Zen. I tried to think of places where this game could be hidden, but I couldn't come up with any good ones. If it was still on the crystal floor,
no.
we shouldn't be
Fair
able
enough.
to
Shut
find
up.
it.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay.
So we're just gonna wait for him.
Yes.
All right.
Right. We're at 1 hour? What do you mean by this?
I'm back.
The playtime reset itself. Do you see this then?
No, I think that's just accurate time. Play time.
This is so sad.
Anything?
Nothing.
I tried to think of the places where the Sekimeiya could have been hidden, but I couldn't come up with any good ones. If it was still on the crystal floor, we should have been able to find it. You know, locker maybe? That's the only safe place I can think of. Oh, how about there? The suitcase was still on the floor of hallway C. Did they bank on us not checking it again? As I got closer to it, my confidence in that theory decreased. Surely they hadn't relied on such a simple trick. It was still empty.
Let's start then. I suppose checking the bathrooms again is pointless since nobody could have entered them. Without excuse me. Without waiting, Akura may head towards toward hallway B. Ayla followed behind, which obligated everyone to go with them.
Let's continue with hallway A. Actually, it's about time we find out if someone else is here. So let's first check for that. Akuro, before you move on to hallway B, look through the mechanical room too. Mind being the one in the lobby this time, Matsuki? Kate and I will stay here to watch the hallway B. Sure.
The others accepted his username began with A, knowing the room we just gotten out of. 7.
Okay,
Oh, so-
presumptuous as it was, Sai could have kept ordering us around as long as it was efficient. Since Shiroya didn't have a fixed position, she moved to the lobby door with me. From there, we looked at the 3 people checking every room. Akro led the pack. My first idea had been that someone might have left the Sekimeiya inside a room without active security cameras. While the first location had been incorrect, that was still the most likely possibility. 5 other rooms that met the criterion were still available. The staff room, the cleaning room, and the mechanical room, the security room, and the storeroom. I looked inside the cleaning bucket, but the only place in the lobby where the Sekimeiya could have been hidden from view, it only contained soapy water. The storeroom was examined, but they were just quickly looking for people, not the Sekimeiya. It was very possible it was in one of those rooms. For example, Nami had to put it inside her locker in the staff room. There wasn't much we could do about it. That was one of the only good hiding spots I could think of.
They entered the event room once again. Then the security room, another place that allowed for an easy way to it without being spotted by cameras, was acknowledged as clean. Once I'd seen them come out of every room and claimed that nobody had been in them, Carl went to look at the mechanical room. Even though Isla remained outside, uninterested, Erna joined him as well. He took a considerably longer time with it since the messy interior made a proper search difficult. Once they returned, their looks indicated that, again, nothing of relevance had been found inside, refuting Sai's suspicion. Afterward, they moved on to hallway B. Kira and I walked to hallway B door too, as it wasn't necessary to keep watching A any longer. As soon as it had been deemed empty, the only remaining concern was whether someone could move from hallway B to A through the event room. Since Sai and Kate had watched hallway B, it wasn't a real possibility.
Technically, the only 2 people were needed to open search through the whole floor as long as someone stayed next to the stairs while looking into the hallway A. But then the other person could safely go through every room. They'd only just been doing it differently because it was what Kati had suggested. They started from the rooms on the lobby side on. Cheryl and I could clearly see Sai and Kati standing on the other exit of the hallway and acting tight control over the few rooms that Naomi or an extra person to be inside. If nobody was found in them, the possibility Shiro had come up with would be almost confirmed. That the culprit could have been in the attic until we heard the elevator down, and that they brought the Sekimeiya up with them to hide on the floor we couldn't access. As the theory grew more likely, I thought further on and it quickly picked up on an important inconsistency. Akira and Sai had said they heard the elevator sound. Naomi had already shown up and left with Kate. If that was the case, Naomi could not have been in the attic the way I had constructed my theory. To make it work, I had to slightly change it.
Nothing was out of place if we missed Naomi when we inspected the crystal floor together. She had gone up to the first floor to talk with Kate, and then called the elevator to keep it on the first floor. Later, she'd use it to move to the attic as soon as she obtained the Sekimeiya, probably because she'd realized that it couldn't convince Kate. The first 3 rooms were handled with ease. The others kept going on look through the event room once again, despite the fact that it was impossible that anything in it had changed. Nonchalantly, almost forgetting what could have been resisting any of the rooms, Akro opened the door in front of it. He looked inside and his body froze. From afar, I was able to see his expression shifting to a blank and pale one. With his hand on the doorknob, he turned around, frantically trying to meet someone's gaze.
What's wrong? Anything inside?
It's a corpse.
Silent corridors allowed us to make out their words. On the other side, Sai and Kate had also realized that something unusual was inside that room. What? I was.
Uh-oh.
Erina, after peeking over Akira's shoulder, immediately pushed aside Isla, who had been about to glance into the room.
Let me see.
Guys, come here. It seems we weren't wrong.
With an altered voice, Akira instructed us we could abandon our positions as the search had finished. A little tense, we went to see what had caused those reactions. Sai brushed past Akira to see what he had found. Despite his effort at appearing unfazed and composed, the moment he set his eyes aside, he was visibly
Oh,
startled.
shit's finally going down.
Oh no.
Seriously? Dude.
The room, no, it isn't. The room before was in the middle of the hallway. Kate, Shiroya, and I arrived at the same time, silently glancing at each other. Erina was still tightly holding Isla, and both of them moved back to let us see through the door. Oh God, no.
It didn't take a
See,
second
it's
to understand.
see, it's red, so now we know.
Yeah.
So we know it's important.
True, they didn't even bother making a corpse there.
It didn't take a second to understand it. On the floor lay the body of Naomi over a pool of blood. On the wall, close to the door, were traces of more blood. Not only that, but a strange odor became noticeable as soon as I stepped inside. I couldn't associate it to anything, but it wasn't prominent enough to be aggravating. Kase, if you're gonna kill somebody, don't make it so obvious.
Oh God, bro, you cannot be real.
He's so based. Seven, does you read a line?
Let me laugh for a second. Okay. The mood
No.
abruptly changed at Sai's careless words. It had happened earlier, but at that time, we all found it a far over the line, especially Irina, who had been trying to keep Isla unaware of what had happened.
You must be joking. Don't even think about accusing me.
Sai moved over to the body. With 2 fingers, he confirmed its status. She's definitely dead. She'd probably been sure it was when we got back to this floor. This room wasn't searched earlier, right?
No, we stopped at the event room. This one was next, so you could be right.
No, that's...
Wait! Isla, who hadn't yet put up any resistance, was able to escape from Erina's grip. Her shock increased even further when she understood that we hadn't been lying.
That's impossible. Why did... It's clearly possible. Just look at her. And I'll sure think about it, Kate. You are the only person who could have done this.
Oh my god. Who is this?
In front of you.
Oh, it's me?
Mhm.
Okay. While they were being audibly reacting, I found myself silently aghast, which I hadn't been prepared for. I'd been carelessly going over the incident when as soon as the image of the dead Naomi had met my eyes, any focus on reality had departed from my body. Shiroya, at my side, looked identical to me. The concept of death and loss had recently been changed for us. Shie and I hadn't had to experience it weeks ago. It had crumbled down without warning. What happened? Naomi's lifeless body was an immediate reminder, one that had come as soon as I started having hope for the future again. So maybe we're without parents? Maybe someone dear died to us?
Probably.
Huh. I looked at Shiroya's face as the others kept spinning meaningless words. Nothing but fright was present all over it, but perhaps the others wouldn't have noticed it. Her effort at moving on had been denied by reality, which had put us back in our place. I never knew how to respond. Doubtless reassurance wouldn't achieve anything. However, even though it might have been any help, I tried to pull out my uncertain warrant into a hand that I placed on her shoulder to distance myself from the sentient and inanimate support I'd been until then. And that was a slow fade. That was maybe a chapter.
I think this is a chapter end. I think.
Oh,
Oh, Lord?
Oh,
Shoei and
Lord?
I knew each other since the first year of elementary school, where we became classmates for the first time. Our parents were friends, which quickly tied us together. We would see one another during school and our parents' meetings, so we grew close fast. Before becoming classmates, we'd already met a few times, but we never exchanged any words. Our parents worked for Yoshibana's hospital, but their work involved securing deals with entities outside the town, which made them travel very often. We've been told that the four of them were a group of friends since long before we were born, and that they all met when we were ranked lower in their workplace. A bit more than a year prior, they accepted a job overseas. Despite their insistent attempts at making us accompany them, we were strongly against it, as we'd lived in Yoshibana our whole lives, and the idea of traveling to another continent wasn't a pleasant one. Unlike them, we didn't even know the language there. They eventually had to give up and accepted paying our necessary expenses like food and rent. We'd lived by ourselves since then. Zen?
Right. 1 year ago, Shirei and I finished high school together in Yoshibana. Together. In Yoshibana, people tended to move out if they hadn't planned to attend university. Seeing as the closest one is hours away, that was why we hadn't yet decided on what to do and had thought of the year 2011 as a pivotal point where we'd decide. Money wasn't an immediate problem for either of us, and we weren't sure what we wanted to study if we decided to move. The last important factor that influenced our decision had made an appearance in our lives when we started middle school. Most of us were with the same people who had attended elementary school together, but a new classmate named Miya moved to Yoshibana that year. At first, Shura and I didn't talk to her much, and neither did our usual group of friends. Miya quickly became comfortable with the other people of our class, which kept some distance between us.
Wait, Mia? Who is Mia?
She just
Some
got introduced
classmate,
here.
yeah.
Oh, that changed 3 years later. The day she approached me when I was alone. It seemed like she felt curious about us and wanted to hang out. I never really understood what drove her to do that, but we spent an entire afternoon together. And immediately after that day, she would spend some more time with me every so often. A few months later, she appeared when Troy and I were together, but they introduced themselves in more depth. Since then, the three of us started to become comfortable around each other after school. It was a bit strange since Troy and I used to being alone, but we could liking to Mia. She was a blunt and sincere girl, one who didn't seem to have many worries in life or think too hard about things. Even though she had made her way into our lives out of the blue, we surely became accustomed to her presence.
Hmm.
Well, initially she passed the time with us sporadically and acted as another link between Shura and me. The frequency increased to the point where the three of us would spend almost every afternoon together. 7.
Last year, the end of high school became a little obstacle for what we had grown to be our daily lives. Mia was different from us in the sense that she knew she didn't want to continue studying, and she instead started searching for a job in Yoshibana while living with her parents. The previous summer was not an easy one for us. Shoya and I weren't sure what to do with our futures, and we knew that if our decisions differed, we might stop seeing each other. Behind everything else, that was my biggest worry, and at the same time, Mia was only focused on searching a job for a job that could want her. I felt like I was stuck in the past, wishing that our school days would continue as always. Meanwhile, the uncertainty of the future wouldn't let Shruya rest easy. That made it hard for us to keep up with each other, and even though the circumstances were perfect for a summer together, the three of us spent it alone. It all started to shift back to normal once Shruya and I decided that neither of us wanted to move out for the time being. We would spend one extra year thinking about it, so at first, that was the perfect excuse to go back to how everything had been before the holidays.
Unfortunately, everything quickly proved to be really stiff. Kira and I had talked frequently about our decisions through messages, but the three of us hadn't personally seen each other in a while. None of us were at our best, and we felt down and unenthusiastic. That made our relationship loosen even further, and the distance between us kept increasing. When I recognized what it all had turned to, sadness really got to me. I couldn't do anything to go back to our routine, and I wasn't sure if they wanted to. Other friends I had from school had completely disappeared from my life in the blink of an eye. For 2 or 3 months, my old life continued fading away. That was until I received a call from Mia. She confessed to having been feeling like me and wanting to restore everything. I immediately called Shiroya, who sounded in the same need. It was over just 2 weeks before the Sekimeiya showing when we met at my house. We'd gone the longest time without meeting, but we still recognized each other and the people we'd spent in the entirety of our teenage years with. It was a bit hard at first, but since we knew the three of us wanted to finally get together, wanted to finally get over our new barriers, the constricting ice that had formed around us broke much more easily than I'd anticipated.
Instead of we go back to how everything had been from the start of the year, the three of us needed and had been fearing that had ended long ago. What does my dog want?
What the
the
dog
dog
doing?
doing?
Oh my god.
Same brain cell. Even though we'd settled that, there weren't many things to do in Yoshibana. Hanging out and talking for hours used to work in the past, but during the fresh starting days, that might have not sufficed. That was how we came across Ashiya's claim that their biggest event to date would be held. Shara and I disliked Ashiya to an extent, but Mia, having moved to Ishibana as a kid, didn't share the same feeling that had been prominently pushed onto us by the older residents. She had only been vaguely told about the main outlet of it all, so when she proposed attending the event, we couldn't refuse it. It honestly sounded like a fine idea to us. Anything the three of us could go to was good. According to the announcement, an event was held on Ashia Tower every Thursday, each one requesting special entrance tickets. 7.
We accepted it and bought them before they ran out. December had always been a special month for me and Shiroya. My birthday was on the 21st, and while hers was on the 19th. We were happy we had reunited just in time for them. As no other special matters were scheduled to happen in Yoshibana, we decided to keep looking to Ashia's events. One that might have been interesting was scheduled for January the 26th, when every gemstone in the building would be replaced. We thought that if we enjoyed it for the first Thursday, maybe that'd be a good day to return. Meanwhile, we agreed to meet up frequently until the 15th.
However, just the next day, Mia died. We found ourselves in an incident that took her life, and Shiroya to be hospitalized. It was comically tragic. Everything we thought we had regained was immediately ripped away from us. Shiroya was in a coma for a few days, but she ultimately didn't suffer from anything major. The days during which I waited still, thinking that I might have lost the last 2 people from my normal life, were harder than anything I thought I'd ever have to suffer. To add unnecessary cruelty, neither my parents nor Shiroya's showed up. They only talked to police officers and doctors over the phone. My parents even used the opportunity to request me to go live with them. They'd been very insistent about that in the past, and the incident gave them the chance to force it even further. I had almost never talked to Mia's parents, but when I saw them talking to the agent in charge, it was clear that they were devastated. Everything in their lives had collapsed in the span of a single day.
When Shihara woke up, I was in her hospital room and told her about what had occurred. Without even being able to cry, she must despise everything that led to the outcome. After the doctor told that she wouldn't have to spend more time in the hospital, I offered to let her stay at my house. Having each other as company should have been beneficial for both of us, and my parents' house was big enough. She almost accepted immediately, but she ended up saying she'd think about it. I insisted, saying that she wouldn't be a bother, accompanying her to her apartment. Next day, she accepted and came over for a temporary stay. Despite all my efforts at being helpful, I spent these days closed up physically and mentally, hating myself for that too. I remained shut in my room, sleeping during the day and glancing through the window at night. The life we'd lived for years had met an abrupt end immediately after resuming itself. It wasn't something anyone should have experienced, and it was nothing short of impossible for us to stop wallowing in our own pathetic misery.
I didn't want to distance myself from Shiroya. Facing the thought of being left alone was unbearable. That's why I'd immediately ask her to remain together for a few days. At home, we briefly saw each other for every day, but no conversations aside from simple words to coordinate ourselves came from either of us. At least, she spent the days with Moxie and Umi, a dog and a cat that had lived with me for years, which I hoped made her feel less lonely. I also got to hear her voice a handful of times when she talked to her parents over the phone, but they never ended up coming. On the 14th, the day before the event, we met in the living room and saw that the 3 tickets would be bought inside of the brown purse Mia would sometimes carry. Knowing that our plans would never happen completely tore me up. I didn't know whether to throw the tickets away, but before I could decide, Shoya spoke.
Do we still go?
It wasn't at all something I expected to hear, but it conveyed everything Shoya had been feeling. I'd been trying to muster the strength to say it myself too, despite our sudden loss. She didn't want us to grow cold again.
Zen.
We decided we'd go anyway, trying not to let the death of our closest friend directly kill our relationship too. We saw it as confirmation that even though everything looked more than grim, we'd do all we could to make it eventually get better. Finally talked a bit before the night came. Our schedules were all over the place, and we had to wake up very early to make it to Ashia Tower before 9 a.m. As the night went on, it was clear that neither of us would be able to sleep. Painfully conscious of our surroundings, we both stayed awake, unable to rest in any way. Once it was clear that would persist, Shiroya suggested leaving early. It was a relieving thought which I had considered proposing already. I agreed immediately. I needed to move and feel the cold of the night. From Mia's purse, Shiroya took 2 of the 3 tickets and put them in hers, along with her identification to validate them and the keys to my house. As we stepped outside, a calm, pleasant night welcomed us back to our town. We walked through the desolate streets without an objective in mind, letting time move at its own pace.
Eventually, we reached the outskirts. We were close to Ashia. We wouldn't usually walk through part of Yushibana, but we were right outside the plaza. Ashia kept clean, waiting for the sun to rise. At 6 a.m., everything around us was covered in snow. Even though we'd grown used to the sheer cold of the mountains, we'd stay outside for that long to exceed our limits. We walked to the entrance of the tower and we were told by a guard that we could wait inside until the doors opened to the public. We were met by a lady sorting a bunch of papers behind the reception. Shoya and I hadn't talked much, but not leaving each other alone was more than sufficient. The only other person was a man in the middle of the lost look. He glanced at us for an instant before going back to his previous gaze. Later his name was Akaro, and I speak to him for the first time in the event room. Seven.
Things had continued and led us to death. Once again, the cruel sensation of death had appeared before us, avoiding it for almost 20 years. It had taken a single dead body to make me reminisce over my whole life. I started to think that I'd been climbing the first steps to get over what had happened by immersing myself in our present incident. But that had been far from accurate. Even though I'd gotten Shroya to start returning to her usual self, in that moment, her face gave away how meaningless that had been. Words started making sense again. Sai, who had been thoughtlessly messing with me without a clue of what my last few days had been like, was accusing Kate of murder.
You're out of your mind. I would never kill anyone.
Why did you? Don't you recall what you've been doing? Nobody else could have been here to do this. What if you were the one who did it, Sai?
Zen.
Should we stop here?
Probably.
It's 2 a.m.
It's almost two. It's
Let's
almost
play for
12.
like 5 more minutes for the scene to end because it's probably gonna be
No.
like very heavy.
No.
Okay, you guys do you?
No. You guys do you. It was only said no.
Yeah, it was only him. I didn't even say anything. I'm over here lightheaded learning about Mia lore.
I suppose you're right.
Wait. Wait, Sekimeiya?
Dude, the Sekimeiya, holy!
The S
They
in
turned her in-
Sekimeiya stands for Shiroya, and wait, Shiroya and Miya.
Where you going?
Shiroya
Where?
Miya Sekimeiya.
Dude, they
Then-
turned Mia into an egg. That makes sense.
Now it makes sense. No wonder we went to the exhibit to rescue our
Yeah.
from the egg.
Yeah, she's gonna be reborn like a phoenix.
Exactly. That's what
Phoenix.
the egg is for, reviving people. It's
Yeah.
like a
Phoenix flame
reincarnation.
swirl. Phoenix flame swirl.
Who says
I think
that?
Yukiko,
Guys.
probably.
Wow, look at how many save slots we have. That is very useful in case I want to do something with my save file. Only saves in the first one.
Bro, that's literally Fate State. I only have one slave slot and that's it.
That is kind of crazy though. The game hasn't even given a choice yet, and there's like 800 save files that we can have.
I don't know. The game probably accounts for weird people who like save every 2 seconds and use a new slot every time.
I mean,
Those people are probably out of save files at this point.
save file in this game wouldn't be like very consuming, I imagine, because like I think
mean-
everything in this game is probably like a location, a scene is like a number,
Mm-hmm.
and it just saves that number in like a text file, and the game pulls it from that.
Probably,
Probably.
yeah. Wanna know why? It's because... Where is it?
You're gay.
What did they mean by this? Toggle full screen, viewport up, viewport down, auto skip text, display scene information. Open search menu.
Nothing to like confirm.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the log. Okay. I can like right click on things and like just go to that line. Like
Yeah.
literally. So it's you know, it's something, alright. Also I have used Renpy before, so yeah, you're right actually on that one, Zen. Ow.
No
Ow.
way, Zen is right. Impossible.
Impossible.
Dude, do you know how much it's taking from me to not look up like spoilers for this game? I want to know who it is. I don't know what happens. How would I?
Honestly, I kind of tend to forget about Sekimeiya during the day.
Yeah, same. What? What? That I disagree with.
I have 177 dropped frames so far in this live stream. Thank you, OBS.
Thank you, OBS.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Zen, do you agree to being done here?
you dropped those frames like how your mom dropped you when she was giving birth.
This is so sad.
Got him, GG's.
Got him.
Guys, trust me.
Yeah.
The real culprit is the girl. It's Isla.
Nah.
It's
I'm
Isla's
telling you-
trust.
Isla, Erina, and the two of us are probably safe.
I'm
Isla,
telling
Erna,
you,
and the two who?
The two of us, the two main characters.
I'm telling you, Isla's gonna die. The
Isla's
girl.
not gonna die. You know who's gonna die though? Kate. Kate's gonna die.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Mm,
Kate dying would be like a new big plot twist. It'd be like dun 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 sort of thing, you know.
yeah, that's why I said he's gonna die. He's not gonna be the next person to die. Don't get me wrong, but he's gonna die. Just like probably at the end of the game or something.
I don't even think there's going to be a next person to die. I'll be honest with you guys.
It's a 40-hour long game. They have to keep you like invested somehow. I imagine someone dies eventually.
We already had a one kill.
Well, there needs to be another. The sacrifice is not enough. We need more blood.
Maybe the title screen is like the survivors.
That could be it, actually. Isla... Yeah, but Isla doesn't have her mom with her. Like, you would
Yeah.
expect her to be with her mom.
It's Jover. Kate is gone. Naomi is gone. Erina is gone.
This is so sad. Look, it's okay, guys. The cute girl is still here. The blue hair with the pronouns. She's alive. Also, my man, Nagito Kamaida on the Nintendo DS. He's still here. And Akuro. he's kind of there.
The character
Damn,
that
th- th- th-
exists.
This is why I hate. This is why I hate blue-haired characters with pronouns. They always live.
They
Dude.
never die.
I'm gonna get water.
The blue-haired
I'm
chick in
gonna-
anime always dies. I don't know what you're talking about, Inferno.
Listen, man. We're fine from protagonist. Just saying.
Okay, good point. But like in actual anime, the blue-haired chick either dies or gets cucked by another girl.
True.
I think the main character is gonna drop the girl. I forgot her name again, and he's simply gonna make out with Sai and marry him instead.
I
and,
agree.
And Shiroya, that's her name. She's gonna get cucked. That's how the game's gonna end. The final
I
scene
agree.
of the game is just gonna be like the game describing describing a sexual intercourse between the two characters in perfect detail.
I agree.
MC and Sai having hot, steamy gay sex for like fucking 20 pages.
I agree.
Well, why do you agree with everything I say?
Because I'm also gay.
Good point.
Alright, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Should I go to bed?
I think you should go to bed. Yes, I'm gonna play Honkai Star Rail after this.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Honkers gay
No.
rail.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I would do that to myself.
This is so sad.
It is quite sad.
Good times never last.
You know nothing behind the weight behind this power. Witness the stars shatter before you. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Alright. Zen, are you going to bed?
Should I? Do you want to do something?
No,
Just asking. Because I'm not sure if I should go to bed.
Probably.
I'm not going to. I'm
I'll-
gonna play video games.
I'll like stay and watch a little bit if you're gonna play some Lost Branch or something.
I'm not sure what I would play. Actually, no, I do kind of need
Say
to go
goodbye to
bed
the
to
stream, guys. I'm gonna end it.
I love men.
Goodbye.
I love gay sex.
I love men.
I too.
I
love
like men.
I also like men. But you know what I like more?
What?
Nothing, because I love men. I couldn't think of a funny thing to say in time. I just kind of believed that I would, but I just kind of like realized that I have nothing funny in my mind, so I just said nothing.
This
So
is
I
so
kind of
sad.
gave up.
This
Anyway.
is so sad.